The Indian cricket team seems to be getting some of the things right as they work towards the T20 World Cup. The series against Afghanistan was the litmus test to figuring out what gaps needed filling. The Indian Premier League will of course be the other major tournament that will give selectors the final picture. Getting back to the series against Afghanistan, 2 matches are done, 1 more to go, and India have comfortably closed out the 2 games. There are some very important takeaways for the team from the series so far, positives that will be key for India at the T20 World Cup. First and foremost, I have to say Virat Kohli. Why do I say that when he hasn't even scored a 50? Well, it's the intent. Kohli's intent from the first ball has been super heartening to watch. Coming back after last playing a T20 international way back in 2022, there is a clear switch in his mindset. If it was about grafting and staying for the long haul in the ODI stint at the World Cup, the intent he has shown in this series has been of being aggressive. Exactly what we spoke about some weeks ago, that India as a T20 outfit needs to remold the way they bat. Batting is different in T20, target setting is different in this format. And that was seen with the way he approached his stay out in the middle. And that seems to be the mantra for the batting lineup. Key would be to be mindful even in the madness. But speaking of the batting, the other positive has to be that of Yashasvi Jaiswal. Now, we spoke about how he's quite a monster in the shorter formats, and he proved to do just that in the second game where he got in after a niggle kept him out in the first. He played with a lot of freedom. The left-handed opener is perfect at the top of the order. He formed a key partnership with Virat Kohli out in the middle. He has been mentored well by the seniors in the side, as he himself said post the second game, and a lot of his fire will be key to India's fortunes in the T20 World Cup. He can put the pressure on the bowling unit right at the start, and with another explosive opener in Rohit Sharma at the other end, this opening combo is truly dangerous to stand up to. Another positive, the positive takeaway number 3 for India, Shivam Dube. There were so many concerns over his inconsistencies showing in the past for India, as well as his Indian Premier League side, the Chennai Super Kings. But here's another player who has benefited from the MSD school of training, especially since 2023, which has been a new and improved Dube. After Rinku Singh contributed his focus hitting to Dhoni's tips, it's Shivam Dube's turn to attribute his roaring comeback to the legendary former India captain MS Dhoni.
This credit goes to the CSK team and Mahi Bhai. I always had the game, but what CSK do is take out that game from a player. So they have given me that confidence. They told me that I could score runs in IPL and that they believed in me. The likes of Hussey and Fleming said that they had faith in me and that I could do what they wanted. He told me that I had the capability to bat well, but he told me to be smart. So I focused on my limitations and what I could do well.
Now he brings that Yuvraj Singh-esque image to that whole lineup, a key component for any batting lineup. He contributed to India in both the games with bat and ball, living up to the all-rounder tag that he came onto the scene with. With his strong performances in both matches, Shivam suddenly has made a case for himself to be considered for that World Cup. Takeaway number 4 has to be Axar Patel. Speaking of comebacks, this is another one that has been rather compelling. And from another all-rounder, Axar Patel had a woeful last few months, at least on the professional front, with the quadricep injury sidelining him from the ODI World Cup. But he's staked his claim to be a part of the T20 World Cup squad with the 2 wickets and a very clinical spell against Afghanistan in the last game. Axar also made it to an elite list. He's the second Indian after Ravindra Jadeja to take 200 wickets and score 2,000 plus runs in T20 internationals. And I'm down to takeaway number 5 has to be Jitesh Sharma. He's made the fight for wicketkeeper slots for the T20 World Cup that much more exciting. Rishabh Pant leads the list, of course. He leads the race even without making his comeback just yet, because when he does, he walks into the side. Now, Ishan Kishan with his fiery batting would have been the second string choice, but there seems to be some standoff between the board, the selectors and the player who has been ignored for selections over the last few months, even though Rahul Dravid gave a half-hearted clarification on the Southpaw's exclusion from the squad, saying he was in the scheme of things. There is some uncertainty over Ishan's presence in the Indian lineup. Then there is, of course, Sanju Samson, who's in the squad and seems to have come back to the fringes after his performances in South Africa. KL Rahul seems to be fighting from far for this one. But again, with a lot of clamour for experience, the pendulum can swing any way. A strong IPL performance could be the deal breaker. The series against Afghanistan is just a small precursor for the big challenges that lie ahead of India come the World Cup. India seems to have ticked some of the boxes and do seem pleased. And with some of the youngsters standing up and delivering, the race for selections has been made that much more interesting now.